My boyfriend did the same thing too the first time. It won't work anymore because it's already wet.
Night, Chica. Alright, heart balloons or is it heart? Oh, okay. Okay, I like everything. Did you guys meet already? No. Ryan and Erica. Erica lives in Victoria. Oh, the case that we did about the crosswalk in front of Arsenal.
Oh, word? Okay.
Who's watching concerns? Okay, Robert Rivard. Lives near Robert Rivard. I had him on the other side. Not to sound like I'm 41, but it's so unfair. And if I'm walking my dog and they run into me, I'm going to come in a hot water.
Good evening and welcome, San Antonians. How are y'all doing today? My name is Philip Barcina, and I have the privilege of being the president of Pride San Antonio. Pride San Antonio is an organization that started some 23 years ago as Gay Pride SA. And so what was originally a celebration for San Antonio's LGBTQIA community here on the Strip, which actually started in this parking lot over here, to your right, or your left, excuse me, your left, has now grown to both sides of Crockett Park. Our parade that used to only have 10 to 15 floats now has about 175 floats, and it lasts 3 hours long, and it is such a representation for the city of San Antonio. So before I go on, I would like to introduce a very special guest that we have here, who's not quite a San Antonio original, but we'll call this person an original here for us. They're a singer, songwriter, voice impressionist. He was born in the late 1800s on the dirt road in Laredo, Texas. At age 7, his family moved to San Antonio just so they'd be able to walk on pavement. He grew up here with dreams of becoming an entertainer, and he took off to become one of the world's greatest voice impressionists. He's done Marilyn Monroe. He's been a great tribute artist for her, traveling around the world. In the 80s and 90s, he appeared on every single popular talk show, from Jerry Springer to Sally Jesse Raphael. In 1997, he retired the Maryland part of his act and capitalized on his legendary voices he has performed for Elton John, Whoopi Goldberg, Boy George, Cyndi Lauper, Patti LaBelle, and tons more. I welcome to the stage the one and many voices of Jimmy James. San Antonio! Oh my God, I cannot believe how amazing this is. You guys, I had a 40-year career. I'm pulling in now. I had a 40-year career traveling everywhere. I came back to San Antonio to take care of my mommy. And this is where I got started. Right here, it's called Sunset Boulevard. Right here, do you remember that? And I remember seeing a big, tall, statuesque drag queen. Before there was RuPaul, there was Miss T. Lady T was her name. And I remember she came out to sing, to do her act. And I sat there as a 21-year-old queen. Now I'm 32, I can't believe it. And I looked at her just mesmerized. And I thought, oh my God. She started doing, come with me tonight. All across the universe, we will sail for the stars. Meet behind Mars. We will hold each other as we sail for the stars. Oh, my cosmic dream. How do you do cosmic? Anyway, does this one work better?
No.
Clicking out. No. It doesn't? Okay. All right. I'll just do Ethel Merman, okay? All right. So anyway, I started here at Sunset Boulevard, and I learned from the queens that were here. Little did I ever know that I would come back to San Antonio, take care of mommy, and then she left me the house, and God damn it, there's so much fucking shit to do when you have a house. I can't start como criada now. That's all I do is clean up the house. Anyway, I am so proud of San Antonio doing something like this for all of us. And this is for all people, all equality. Whether you came from a dirt road in Laredo, Texas in the late 1800s like I did, or you could be here and think of your dreams, imagine your dreams and make your dreams come true. This is a dream that came true for all of us, ladies and gentlemen. You should be very proud of this. We have this in West Hollywood, Los Angeles, West Hollywood. We have this. Nobody fucking have it in San Antonio, Texas. My hometown. guys have fun tonight? There's going to be some queens performing for y'all. Thank you, San Antonio. We are growing. We are coming alive in our culture, in our community. Oh, and by the way, I went to San Antonio College, by the way. I studied radio, TV, and film. But then I figured out I could make more money as a hooker. How do you do hooker? Wait. You got it good. Thank you, everybody. Have fun tonight. Thank you, Jimmy James. I too went to San Antonio College and studied radio, TV, film, but I didn't do all that. So, at this time, I'd like to introduce one of our board members and a very, very dear friend for us. She and her husband got married here at Crockett Park on July the 4th, 10 years ago, along with me and my husband and 20-something other couples at the time. And so I'd like to introduce George Bettis. He's been a major director for a disaster, for FEMA, for everything, for Metro Health, for well over 35 years. And then Erica Daniels, by day she is an emergency room nurse, and at night she's Erica Daniels. Thank you. Welcome, 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 ladies and gentlemen. How are we this evening? Oh, sober. I love it. It is barbacoa, chicharrones. It's just me. I'm melting. It's hot. Yeah, so I love it. Big gorditas. I love gorditas. They're my favorites. I'm a proud burrito lover. What you think? Look at me. Look at me. I love it. I smell bacon, girl. There we go. So, I guess we're ready to go now. I think our first performer this evening that we'll have to showcase their entertainment is an individual who has gone many, many miles. Look at her. Many miles. Oh, I'm sorry. Miles. We love her. She's our very own. What now? Oh, Philip? Philip first? Oh, yeah, mira. Okay. Yeah. All right, welcome back to the stage. He's the president of Pride San Antonio, and we're unpaid professionals. Give it up for Mr. Philip Barcina. Thank you. So I'm going to start off with a welcoming ceremony. Welcome everyone to the dedication of San Antonio Pride Cultural Heritage District. People often refer to San Antonio as the biggest small town you will ever visit. To those of us who have grown up here and come of age here, perhaps we all have experienced a little bit of that reality. But truthfully speaking, San Antonio has served to shock us in many ways. Today we celebrate how remarkably progressive our city really is. Whether it's the overwhelming movement to flood the city council members to support our police chief who came under incredible social attack after serving as Grand Marshal of the Pride Bigger Texas Parade, or the overwhelming support to get the non-discrimination ordinance passed. Thank you, Graciela and her wife, Amy Castellan. Thank you for your efforts on that. Just as a quick, brief moment, there are only two First Amendment rights here in the city of San Antonio to organize as a parade. One is a Martin Luther King March, and the other is a Gay Pride Parade. In 2015, there was 20-plus couples that graced Pride Bigger Than Texas stage on the 4th of July. And we were the first ones to get married here in 2015. The key thing that we've been able to do here as a community has been monumental. We started off with an idea of how to celebrate our community here, and we took a lot of inspiration from the Avenida de Guadalupe. We had an opportunity to help participate in their parade there for the 16 celebration, and what we were able to see was there was something that kind of magically transformed us to a different time, a different place. And actually it was a bus stop. If any of you are familiar with the bus stop over there in Buena Vista, it kind of reminds you of your grandmother's porch swing. Does anybody recall that bus stop over there? It does, doesn't it? That was the inspiration to have change here in the city of San Antonio to come about which we've now done with the crosswalk, which we've done now with these banners. But our crosswalk didn't come apart very easily. It took a lot of effort. It took a lot of heart to do these changes here in the city of San Antonio. It took a number of different individuals to stand up and show that we can do these things. Judge Rosie Spino Gonzalez, where are you? She's over there. At the time, in 2018, we saw that many cities were starting to do crosswalks across the country. And what she had an idea to do was, why don't we do a crosswalk here? We couldn't do the installation at the time, but what they did do is they did a chalk crosswalk. And that set the groundwork for what we now have today, which is our installation of a crosswalk here in the city of San Antonio. But our crosswalk didn't come about just with easy money raised. It actually took a lot of effort for us to raise money along and having the city of San Antonio match that. There was a special person that helped us raise that money, who was former city councilman Roberto Trevino, back there. He is now the executive director of San Antonio Philharmonic. So I strongly encourage you, if you love music and you love classical music and even the arts and pop and things like that, they put on such great performances there over at the Scottish Rite, which is right down the road. So from our crosswalk, we've done other things. We started off again with more to do here for the city of San Antonio, and that was the installation of our Pride banners. One city, one community, one pride. There are 41 different banners that race from Ashby in Maine down to Lexington in Maine, and they commemorate our district for us as the heart of it. But our heritage and our history goes without saying. We claim this space today in honor of the change. The San Antonio LGBTQ community today is not the LGBTQ community of 1969 or 1985, and it won't be the community of 2035. Our community icons brought change to this community and through the decades before us. Gandhi said, "Be the change you wish to see." So it is important for all of us to see now that that change has occurred, and we dedicate to bring this change together for you. Many times we often hear people mention, "I've been invited to the table." Not only have we been invited to the table, but actually that table and the chair has been pulled out for us by the city of San Antonio, the Cultural Historic District, or Heritage District, that we're now celebrating today. And the Preservation Society there in the city of San Antonio has held that for us and made sure that we're having this dedication that we're having today. So it is the city of San Antonio that has been instrumental in making this work for us. So when you think of our city, there is no other city in the state of Texas that had this happen. It was usually by the community that had that growth. This is our city that is celebrating our lives with us. So that is very commendable for the city of San Antonio and us as a community. So often I would always say, as Donnie would say, be the change you wish to see in the world. But today, we are that change that we wish to see, and we're making it happen. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Philip Garcia, our president of Pride San Antonio. Thank you, Philip. I know as we stand here today, I know myself, I stand on the shoulders of many, many, many people who have made it possible for me to be here, have made it possible for us to celebrate in this kind of a way. I can remember being trapped in this building right here at night when the bar closed because it wasn't safe for us to come out on the streets and get in our cars to leave. And look at where we are today, baby, because we persevered, we got involved, we made sure that we were seen, we were heard, and we are followed. So that is super important. With that being said, I passed out some little bottles of glitter to some of the board members and stuff that are here. Armani DeAndrew started something that my granddaughter's going home was to spread glitter. She loved glitter, and you know everybody knows glitter is the STD in the craft world, right? It keeps giving and giving and giving. So when we buried her that day, we made sure to sprinkle glitter and stuff. So all of you join me. Let's come up here. because we're like glitter. We stick around, we ain't going nowhere, we're beautiful, we're very shiny. So we're gonna go ahead, everybody open your little bottles of glitter. And these are for those individuals, since we're talking about past, present, and future. These are for the past individuals that we lost during our pandemic and our fight every day. Maybe I see you, I feel you, babe. And all of our loved ones that have gone before us. So, here we go, baby, shine bright like a diamond. Gone but never forgotten, always. Can we take just a moment and give just a silent moment to whoever you believe in? Send up our love and blessings to know that it never ends. It'll continue on, and we will continue the good fight. Thank you. All right. If you're going to take pictures of us, take them now, because I don't know what I'll look like in 5 minutes. I just felt something really, really rough on my left cheek. So, all right, at this time, she's a dear friend of mine. I learned a lot of things. Am I on TV? I can't do that. Okay, I learned a lot from this next individual. Fundraising was one thing that I learned from this individual. Also, her compassion, her heart. That she's always trying to do something, even when she's wearing rubber boots right now. Girl, those rubber boots. All right, at this time, get up for Miss Autumn Summers. Y'all make some noise. Yes! How many people remember the new zoo? The new zoo? She used to climb the pared, the gate, the catwalk. Now you're too old, girl. We can't, ice just come for it. You can't go. When I first saw Autumn perform, she was wearing a trash bag dress because she said she didn't have nothing to wear. You remember that one, girl? She's like, shut up, girl.
She still has it.
All right, at this time. Oh, at this time we have Dr. Gloria Colon Brana,
With the San Antonio Office of Historic Preservation.
everybody join me in welcoming Dr. Gloria Colon Brana. Come on up. And if you're wondering why Eric and I are dressed the way we're dressed, we decided to sport something. We'll tell you after Doctor talks, and then we'll tell you about our inspiration of our look today, our gig. Okay, thank you, Doctor. Twice in a week? How are you? Welcome, welcome. Now you see why I always get the 2% raise with the city. Look at this. I'm fabulous with the copyright. Black and white, black and white, black and white.
Awesome. How can I follow that up? Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for attending this beautiful celebration. The Pride Cultural Heritage District celebrates this area that has a concentrated and rich history tied to the LGBTQ community. While this project initially focused along the North Main Avenue commercial corridor, community collaboration, research revealed people, organizations, events, spaces, businesses, and history that went far beyond this specific road. Through the decades, sites in this area have been home to multiple LGBTQ plus businesses which have become anchor points within the community. Cultural heritage recognition is one of the ways in which the Office of Historic Preservation builds awareness of San Antonio's living heritage. The importance of this recognition is underscored in the many buildings and businesses and organizations which have been lost over time. You may be familiar with traditional historic districts such as Monte Vista and Tobin Hill that are characterized by a collection of buildings from a particular period of time. Cultural heritage districts take the next step by recognizing that many of the things that contribute to San Antonio's cultural identity aren't always buildings and aren't always tangible. They can be intangible things like traditions, food, or the arts, shared experiences, activism, memories, fashion, music, festival. The Pride Cultural Heritage District helps us understand how this intangible heritage is tied to place and how we can celebrate and build upon that heritage. I want to take a moment to recognize the community, the stakeholders, and public participants who came together to make the Pride Cultural Heritage District possible. I want to recognize some individuals in particular who helped so much in this process. I want to start with Melissa Golke, who could not be here tonight, for entrusting us with years of personal and professional research and her vast knowledge of San Antonio's queer history and this area in particular. I want to thank Sofia Sepulveda for helping us map the history of trans spaces that have often been lost to time. I also want to, in that same vein, thank Anel Flores for entrusting us and helping map additional queer and lesbian spaces both in this area and to the north. And special thanks to Philip Barcena, to James Point Dexter, and the entire board of Pride San Antonio for their feedback, generosity, and for keeping us on track. I want to also thank, in that same vein, Graciela and the entire Esperanza Peace and Justice Center. And to Anua Reyes for their insight and recommendations on recognizing the Two-Spirit people that have lived here forever and continue to be in San Antonio. There are so many more people that actively participated throughout this process. Thank you all. You can find in that vein the full report on scoutsa.com, which hosts all of the heritage programs administered by the Office of Historic Preservation. The designation of the Pride Cultural Heritage District is the culmination of decades of work by community organizations, and I'm going to list them again. Pride San Antonio, SAGA, the Pride Center, Esperanza and Peace and Justice Center, the LGBTQ Chamber of Commerce, Thrive Youth Center, Equality Texas, and so many others that I'm not mentioning, but you are here and you have been here. So this is for all of you. You made this happen. This designation is just a starting point for an era of recognition for the important stories tied to this area. We hope to help facilitate celebrating these stories through our existing programs. We encourage you to share your stories about places that matter to you. Our Scout SA program aims to connect people to place, whether it's a personal memory or something that is shared. You can even propose a new history here marker, like the one that we are unveiling today, which is down there. This is part of the History Here Markers, is the local program that our office, the Office of Historic Preservation, administers, which is really intended to improve accessibility and recognizing significant places in San Antonio. With that, let's unveil the first History Here marker for the Pride Cultural Heritage District. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctora. We appreciate you very, very much. We'll give a chance for people to take a picture. And we're going to share a little story with Erica and I and why we're in the colors that we're in today. A few years back, our designer, who we lost this past January, Maria Chavez, who made all of our outfits and stuff, and she decorated people and made everybody shine in their best likeness throughout the country. We lost her this past year. And it's been a real hard loss. So Eric and I decided to re-sport these again because we're wearing the colors for trans rights and making sure that everyone is seen, we're all heard, and that we see you, we hear you, we support you, and we definitely are here for the long fight with you. You are our brothers, you are our sisters, you are our family. Like what I want to say from I forget how one of my friends said it from the Aguas.
There you go. Oh, that's voodoo. That's voodoo, girl. That's voodoo. I don't know.
No, girl. It's talked about from the dirt to the eye.
Give me a huevo. Una barriga, girl.
I love it. I love it a lot.
All right, at this time, move on. I know you guys is just melting like I am. Welcome to the stage. He is State Representative.
Oh, Jose Garcia. I'm sorry, Josie Garcia. Sorry. I'm sorry. I love it a lot. I apologize. Slaughtered your name.
He does have other colors.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to share some remarks with you. I'm State Representative Josie Garcia. I am Texas's first and only woman veteran. So I had all kinds of cool stuff to say to y'all, but I just thought I'd just kind of relax and let y'all know what it's like at that legislature. Ooh, they're crazy, y'all. Seriously, they're nuts up there, but let me tell you what, we were able to do something amazing this session. House Bill 1738, authored by my friend and my brother, State Representative Vincent Jones, which repeals gay sex being illegal. Now let's think about that. In 2025, homosexual sex was illegal in your state. Gay sex was illegal in your state. And with a bipartisan coalition of legislators in June, we were able to get that prehistoric law wiped off of our books and moved on to something more productive for our community. That was a wonderful June. Here's some things that we have to be aware of, because what I have to do is my duty is to educate our community. There is an outright war on our community. An outright war. We no longer can identify ourselves on our driver's license. Some of us have to use our birth gender on our licenses that does not reflect our physical appearance. And by doing so, you are committing a crime of fraud. We're not cheering for that. No, we're not cheering for that. So what we're going to do is keep showing up, because with every law that is passed comes a law that can be repealed and can be changed. Every legislative session, every 2 years, it is our duty to show up and show out for our brothers and sisters who are not available to do so any longer. And as I give this speech to you and this call to action to you, I want to impose something on you. It is my honor to serve as the secretary of the Texas State LGBTQ Caucus. We are a caucus of all identifying members of the House. And can I please get a round of applause for our allies? Please, for our allies who show up and fight with us, because for some of us, our lives mean life or death. For some of us, our lives is a war. I was 7 years old the first time I learned that being who I am was bad. It was the first time my mother told my very abusive stepfather, hey, look, we have a faggot in the family. 7 years old, I heard that word directed towards me. And I knew that word because that's what they call my Uncle Tim. My Uncle Tim, who I never laid eyes on because he was banished from our homes because my grandfather was unable to beat the gay out of him. I joined the military during Don't Ask, Don't Tell. Where are my Don't Ask, Don't Tell veterans? Those of you who signed the dotted line to protect and defend your country against all enemies, foreign and domestic, only to be ruined for who you love. Because the second time I was outed when I was in Iraq. While I was fighting for my country, while my children, my special needs children, were without their mother, I received a threat that because I turned down a sexual advance, I was going to be outed to my chain of command and I would lose everything that I had worked for. I lived in fear, I lived in terror. This is symbolic for a lot of reasons, because a lot of military members come to San Antonio because we're Military City, USA. A lot of us come from places where we get the gay beat out of us. A lot of us come from places to where who we are is not okay. Where you all can outly say, this is the gay strip. This is what we will refer to as Rainbow Road. Because while we're in uniform, when we say, hey, we're going down to Rainbow Road, we mean we are going to the electric. Right? When we said we were going down Rainbow Road, we said we were going to the Saint. When we said we were going down Rainbow Road, sometimes we went over to Bermuda. Right? This cultural district means more to you than I think any of you even realize. This is a place where dreams become reality. The dream of being who you are proudly. And thank you to a city that has been so accepting of that. We cannot go on without calling out our very first trans councilman, Leo Castillo. I see him in the back. And thank you to Councilman Jordan T. Rodriguez, who has been an unapologetic advocate for our community since the day he stepped in office. Now I promise y'all I'm done. All I want to say is I love each and every one of you. You have a partner and a sister in the Texas House of Representatives. The fight has not stopped. The war is continuing. And please reach out to us for anything. We're here for you. Thank you so much.
Give it up for State Representative Josie Garcia. Y'all give it a clap, make some noise. We're gonna mute your mic. All right, let me just ride along.
Gabriel Velasquez with President of Avenida Guadalupe Association. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on, sit. Hi, Gabriel, how are you?
I'm so happy to be here with you all today, and let me tell you that this is a wonderful dream come true for many reasons, but I think one of the big reasons for me is because sometimes in San Antonio it's so easy to give up on your dreams. There's so much need in the city, and so many leaders and fighters and champions. And we're put in situations so often to have to beg and explain for things that are just no-brainers. James Poindexter was reminding me the other day that one day we sat after one of the 16 de September parades. Party de Say has always been a big sponsor of the 16 parade, but also of a crazy dream that we had to create Una Noche en la Gloria with a 100-foot runway down the middle of Guadalupe Street and all kinds of things that people said it couldn't happen. And we sat there and we were talking about this very idea of what would the possibility be for there to be a cultural arts district that's dedicated to Pride to Say. And it wasn't hard from there to say, it can be done. It can be done. And this is almost 10 years ago. And at a time when we find ourselves in a city with so much need and we have our dreams, it's easy to not to believe that those dreams can come true. But being here today for me, it helps to close a circle that I was there the day that we created the dream that we would be here today celebrating this cultural arts district that for so many would seem like it was so impossible, but it wasn't impossible at all. And it's important to me because I think sometimes I stop believing that dreams can come true because I have a whole bunch of dreams that I hope I can live long enough to see a good majority of them come true. And it's those moments where you're ready to quit, that a dream like this comes true, and guess what? I'm ready to keep going. I'm ready to keep going, and I'm not going to stop because this is a testimony to we have to. This is our city. We are the people. It has to reflect us. And I'm so glad that Roberto Trevino is here, because this is like almost tying a ribbon around a dream of crosswalks. And now Roberto's sitting there with this massive dream of the Philharmonic and the Scottish Rite. And we have to send a message to him, part of this dream, that your dream will come true. So for all of us, let's keep dreaming. Let's let this be an inspiration to our collective future. That whatever it is that we believe our city is, it will be, because we will make it so. And thank you so much for having me here today.
Thank you so much to Mr. Velasquez. Oh, now we have former District 1 Councilman
Roberto Trevino.
Yes, yes, yes! Ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to let you off the hook, Roberto. You still owe me a flight, even though I'm afraid of heights. Welcome, amigo.
Thank you. It's with great pride that I'm here today. I really want to spend today thanking everybody that had this dream. Pride SA originally reached out to the District 1 councilor, which I was that at the time. And, you know, why did they reach out to the District 1 councilor? Because District 1 is, and I want that we have District 1 Councilwoman Sue Cooter here in the audience. I want to thank her for her leadership in carrying the torch. And I've told her, District 1 is the heart of the city, and it matters. Why does it matter? Because it's about policy change. And everybody here needs to know, and I hope that when I read some of this QR code about the history of this area, it talks about the need for policy change to make this crosswalk a reality.